Recording, it's recording. A frickin' fresh, a frickin' fresh, a frickin' fresh. What's up, Chelsea and Chan?
What it do?
We are back at you guys with another video.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna drop a little bit of wisdom on you guys.
Drop some knowledge.
Just to, drop a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of education. We're gonna talk about how we bought a house in our 20s and how you can buy a house in your 20s too. I guess the reason why we decided to make this video is because I feel like a lot of millennials don't really understand the home buying process, which is understandable because I feel like we definitely did our own research and had to figure that out on our own. We didn't really seek any advice or anything like that. We just kind of learned it on our own and figured it out on our own, and it was very random. Us buying a house is kind of random, which is my fault.
Yeah, it was a lot of it was her idea. I gave her some criticism, but ultimately we felt like just the prices in apartments compared to daily monthly mortgage to houses, especially, where we're living at right now, we just felt like it was just a better win. Yeah,
and we'll get to that. We'll get to that part of the video. But yeah, basically the reason why we decided to make this video is because, we wanted to basically, this is actually our second house, which is, I know it's kind of crazy, but this is actually our second house. So I feel like we kind of have a little bit of knowledge that we can share with other millennials, other young people that don't know where to even start when it comes to buying a house. Two, think it's out of reach for them, when in reality you'd be surprised that it's actually a lot easier than you think. It's not easy, but it's a lot easier than you think. And yeah, so we just hope that a lot of young people and millennials could benefit from this type of video. So before we get started with this video, if you guys are new to our channel, we make lifestyle videos about love, life, and laughter. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to grow with us, grow with our channel, please click subscribe below. Subscribe.
Click it a ticket.
Click it or ticket, yeah. So in this video, just to kind of break it down, we're going to talk about the home buying process to start with. We're going to talk about some misconceptions about buying a house, and of course, money. We're gonna talk about money and some financial tips to get you ready for buying a house, and some unforeseen expenses that you might not have realized when you buy a house, okay? So, let's get started. It's crazy, I don't even know where to start. It's so much. So when we got engaged, we moved in together and we were living in an apartment, right? Okay, and the apartment was a little suburb outside of Dallas, and we were paying $952 for the apartment, right? Which is kind of average in the DFW area, right? Then our lease was, ending, and so we had the choice to renew, right? And it was going up to $1,200 bucks, $1,200.
13.
Yeah, $1,200, $1,300. What? For a 700 square foot apartment? That's a little ridiculous. One bedroom, 700 square foot apartment. One bedroom, one bath.
It was nice.
It was a nice apartment. It was a really nice apartment. I really loved that apartment. At that point, we were like, you know what? Maybe we should look into buying a house. I know we thought that we were gonna live in an apartment for a while, and I know the whole home buying thing wasn't really something that we had in mind, but just looking at the prices of renting and then looking at, the mortgage, the possible mortgage, is it seems like a better deal to just buy a house. And we knew that we were getting married. We knew we wanted to start a family eventually.
Dog.
So a dog, I wanted a dog really, really bad. And I knew I didn't want a dog unless I was in a house, because I wanted to give him a yard, and I wanted to Mia, my little girl, she's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? She's my best friend.
She just be chilling.
She just be chilling. So yeah, we knew we wanted all those things eventually, so we were like, you know what, let's just go ahead and start the home buying process now.
We saw some houses.
We saw some houses.
There were some houses, and it was just who lived here, why they lived here, and why would we live here? It was just
it was
talking about from foundation to cracks on the wall,
just dirty.
It was,
yeah.
We did a lot of research.
We did a lot of research. We used apps. We used a lot of home apps. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. We looked at
shout out to
all those. Yeah, shout out.
Sponsor us.
We're not being sponsored at all.
Sponsor us.
That'd be awesome, but no, we're not. So one, you have to find a realtor. I didn't realize that. We got our realtor through our lender, right? I found the lender on a flyer, and then the lender was like, well, do you have a realtor? And I was like, no, what's a realtor? And
yes, we got it. Yes, we are.
I was like, and then, oh, okay, well, you know, I have one for you. So she got the realtor for us, and then we just kind of went from there. So we got a realtor. The realtor was able to basically, you know, we told the realtor what type of houses that we're looking for, you know, 1 story, you know, 3 bed, 2 bath at least. This is our price range, and he just kind of emailed us, you know, the houses sample houses that are on the market that were in our criteria, I guess.
Yeah, you definitely want to be able to communicate a lot of this information to your realtor so they can narrow down the type of houses that you actually want. Because in the beginning of the process, that's when we were seeing all the, oh, what is this? You know, type of, you know what I'm saying?
What happened was, I found a flyer. Like, I was just like looking at houses on my own, like on my lunch break at work, after work. I was just driving by houses that I found on Zillow and like, didn't even know that I needed a realtor to do these things.
Yeah.
And I saw a flyer in front of a house that I was interested in, and it was a flyer for a mortgage company, right? Obviously you need a mortgage, I mean, unless you got buku money. Obviously, buku. Unless you got buku money, you need a mortgage company to buy a house, right? So I found a mortgage company or lending company based on this flyer that I saw. So I reached out to her.
Write it down, lending company.
Lending company, yeah. I reached out to her, and she basically was just telling me like, what's your credit score, just to give her an idea what our credit score is. And that way she can give us an idea of what kind of interest rate we're gonna get, which is really important. Interest rate is so important because the higher the interest rate you get, the higher your mortgage is gonna be. So you really have to have a low interest rate. Yeah. Or try to strive to get a low interest rate.
There's a misconception of the down payment for a house. Because I know most people say 20%, but it is possible to do what, 5%?
It's actually 3%. There's this misconception that, oh, in order to buy a house you have to have 20%. Guys, 20% is crazy. Say you buy a house for $200,000, right? Which hardly ever exists anymore. But say you want to buy a house for $200,000. 20% is $40,000. Okay. Down, okay? That doesn't include closing costs. Closing costs are gonna be like an extra like $15,000, right?
Secret fees.
Secret fees that we didn't really foresee at first. And even if you have that type of money in your bank, it's not a good idea to spend all of it, like to blow all of it to buy a house anyway. So 20% is literally cray. So that's a lot of a misconception. A lot of millennials think you have to have that much money to buy a house, so there's no way I'm ever gonna be able to buy a house. No, if you get an FHA loan, you can get a house for as little as 3% down, and that's what we did in our first house. We paid 3% down, and that was it. And we lucked out on that house because we got that house for a really good price.
What kind of loan was it again?
We got an FHA loan on our first house.
FHA loan.
FHA loan. If you are a first-time home buyer,
write that down too.
If you are a first-time home buyer, an FHA loan is the way to go, especially if you don't have like buku money and like, you know, a lot of money to put down on a house. Because I mean, come on, like we're young, we're millennials, like where are we gonna get that type of money? Where?
Who hiring? Who paying? Who?
Well, another misconception is a lot of millennials think that they need to save until they can buy their dream home. That is not necessarily true. You don't have to buy your dream home. Doesn't have to be your first home, guys. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's great, that's fine, but I just want people to know that you don't have to buy your dream home first. Most people don't buy their dream home their very first home, you know?
Buckets.
So yeah, some people's first home is just kind of like just a little itty bitty like home. It's functional, it does the job, but it doesn't have to be your first home. I mean, it doesn't have, yeah, a dream home doesn't have to be your first home. No. You know? You sell that house eventually, you make money off of it.
You know, your first car is not gonna be your dream car.
No, exactly.
Your first boyfriend or girlfriend not gonna be
your dream boyfriend.
Your dream girlfriend. So it's the same thing. The same thing applies to your growth, you know.
Growth. growth. Yeah, so that's another thing is, you know, it's a really good idea to, you know, invest in your first house, and then maybe down the line, the money you make off of that house will go towards your dream home. So obviously when you buy a house, the big difference between renting and buying is renting, you just rent and that's it. When you're renting, you're literally just kind of throwing money away.
Yeah,
I mean, you're kind of just...
You're really giving... Okay, one of the things why I think buying a house is better than renting is because, like Chelsea said before, renting, you're just giving your money away to someone. But if you buy a house, basically you're investing in that home to a point where, you know what, you've invested so much into that home that you think it's time to move on to another home, but you own that particular home.
Yeah.
And you've kept it up to a point where, you know what, I can rent out this home to someone, and bam, that's a second income. That's you know.
Or another great thing is that kind of what happened with our first house is that we bought that house, we were paying towards mortgage, and eventually we sold it and we ended up making way more money than what we bought for it. I mean, that's like investing one-on-one. You know, that's another amazing thing about buying a house is that eventually when you sell it, most likely you're gonna make way more money than what you paid for it. That's ideally, I know there's some situations where that doesn't happen, but I mean, that's part of the main reason why you buy a house is for the investment of it. So, but for the most part, I mean, buying a house can be a great idea. You know, it's just a better business money move than to rent. I make money moves.
What was the
I don't dance now. I make money moves. Hey, hey, I don't gotta dance. I make money moves. Buying a house is not for everyone, okay? It's not for everyone. One, you're not like 100% settled into your career, or you don't know that, you know, where you're living right now is where you want to live forever. Then you may not want to like commit to a house because it is a commitment. If you're not ready to commit to living where you live right now for a long period of time, then you probably don't want to buy a house because it is a commitment and you don't want to have to deal with selling it if you don't have to.
Tough break, bro.
Yeah, it's tough. Just to recap on this video, in order to buy a house in your 20s, really the main things is that you really got to budget, you really got to save up, okay? You don't need 20% down, but you do need at least 3% down. So yes, you do have to have some money in the bank to spend towards a house. 2, find a realtor, you know, do some research. Actually, no. 2 is figure out what your budget is. Figure out what you can afford. Okay, budget. And 3, find a realtor, and then find a lender. And that, I mean, that is basically it. And then get to searching, get to hunting, you know what I'm saying? So,
the grind don't stop. It's like looking for a job.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video.
If you
enjoyed it and you kind of liked what we're talking about or it's helpful to you at all, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and of course subscribe. We would really appreciate it. Grow with us.
Mr. and Mrs. Butterscotch. Subscribe, please.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Okay.
What up, Chelsea and Chan fam?
No, it's supposed to be like exciting, like, what's up, Chelsea and Chan fam?
What's up, Chelsea and Chan fam?
What's up, Chelsea and Chan fam?
I know, I'm just taking a time out to you like
we're always so like, we're always snacking.
Yeah. Makes it more enjoyable.
I got bands in the coop, busting up the roof. I got bands in the coop, touch me, I'll shoot.